Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and in this video, what we're going to be doing is betting some MLB player props. We got a bunch of MLB games today, which means that we have a ton of options for player props, which is awesome. Before I get started, I'm able to do a recap from yesterday, and it's not pretty. I had 6 bets total. I went 1-5, down $230 yesterday, so my hot streak comes to an end with my net profit and loss total now being again back in the negative, about negative minus 110. But if you watched the video yesterday, you will know that I have a new strategy that just started. So these, everything's starting here in row 122. You see here, it's from a new strategy. So I have 3 of those bets pending. Hope they do well. We'll have to see. But that's what I'm going to be going off moving forward, is this new strategy. So for yesterday's, it was all game props. Today, I'm only going to be betting some MLB player props. So my favorite MLB player props. So the rules with player props is the market width needs to be 35 cents and below. So we're making the market width a little bit lower. Normally, I play player props up to 40. Now I'm only playing it up to 35. And I'm only playing EV percents that are above 4. So everything from this one on, the Bryson Stott under from on, is good to go. Looks like a couple, these 2 are not good to go because of the market width, but other than that, everything on here of these 5 or 6 or so are good to go. And yeah, so to give a shout out, I mentioned this in my video last night. Definitely make sure to watch that if you haven't. I do a much longer preamble about what my strategy is. Just shout out to Data Driven Sports, who helped me come up with the strategy. Actually, he came up with it himself. I talked to him about it, told me about it. I thought it was really good because I have not had success with baseball. He has, so I figured why not see what he's offering and how it works. So these are going to be again, today is going to be my player props video. Of course, if you're unfamiliar, the way the this page works, the OddsJam Positive EV page, it's where I get all of my almost 99% of my bets from, our positive expected value from this page. The way it works is this OddsJam line you see here, it's pulled from the most accurate bookmaker in the world, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. Basically, this sportsbook has the most efficient betting market. It accepts the most money, doesn't have any limits. It accepts sharp action. So it generally is going to have the most efficient betting market, but not every sportsbook does. A lot of sportsbooks don't accept money from sharps, or they have a limit on how much they'll accept. So their lines aren't quite as tight and as accurate as they should be. And this page provides us examples in which that is the case, in which those are the scenario. And then, of course, the no vig odds is important to understand because the vig is essentially just it's the charge that sportsbooks price odds themselves. They price up the odds a little bit based on what they should be, so that way they can make their profit. So removing the vig allows us to understand what the sportsbook truly prices this market at with no vig removed, with no BS. And that's exactly what this does here, the no vig odds. So anywhere in which we are getting more favorable odds on another sportsbook than the no vig odds, it's going to be positive EV. Like this one here, positive EV percent of like 8.12%, which is pretty insane. It's Roansy Contreras over 5.5 strikeouts in the Pirates versus Cubs game. So the odds that we'd be betting it at are on FanDuel at plus 136. The OddsJam line prices this at plus 104, and with the no vig odds, it's plus 118. So that gap between 118 and 136 is what has positive EV, and in this case, the percent of about 8.12%. So this percent here can essentially be viewed as your profit margin. That's kind of how that works. Over time, your net profit should start to equal what your expected profit is as long as you track it, which I started to do on this sheet right here. I started to track net expected profit. Of course, I did that and I had a terrible day, but moving forward, starting on this day here, the 20th, my net profit and loss will start to kind of equal my net expected profit as well. And then another thing I like to do before locking in a bet or not is I just like to see where all the other sports books price it at. So in this case, again, FanDuel has it at plus 136, OddsJam at plus 104. And if we go down to the play, so it's Roansy Contreras, Every other book, except for PointsBet, has this closer to the OddsJam line around even money. PointsBet has that plus 125. So this plus 136 is still a pretty decent outlier, which is why I think it's a good bet to take, and which is why I'm going to add it to my selection. So I'm still in a non-legal betting state just for today. Today's the last day I will be for about a week or so. So I'm not able to lock this one in, but I will add it to my Matt's Bets selection. So it's Roansy Contreras over 5.5 strikeouts plus 136 on FanDuel. And in terms of unit sizing, I'm just going off the Kelly calculator here. For player props, I don't put more than 4% of my bankroll on. So this one is actually going to be a $100 wager. I'm going to round this down to 4 units, $100 at plus 136 odds. Roansy Contreras over 5.5 strikeouts. So let's go ahead and add it. So it's Roansy Contreras. It looks like I've taken him before. In this case, I'm taking the over. I'm putting $100 on it. I'm putting it at plus 136 odds. And the expected value percent again here is 8.12. So to calculate my net expected profit here, all I need to do is just multiply the expected value percent by the amount I'm putting on it to get the actual dollar figure I should figure to make on this bet over time. Now, of course, for a $100 bet, it's pretty easy. I should figure to make $8.12 on this bet. So that will be my first one, the Roansy Contreras. This is the over, not under. It's over strikeouts. This was on FanDuel. I'll update all this information later. You don't need to see me watch it because that's not fun for anyone. And that's going to be my first bet. So this Roansy Contreras over 5.5 strikeouts on plus 136 on FanDuel. So this Vladimir Guerrero one is still within range, player bases. Looks like he plays for the Blue Jays and they play the White Sox. This play here is plus 115 on DraftKings. The OddsJam line has this at minus 111. Without the VIG, it's priced at plus 103, plus 104. So that gap, again, is what has positive EV. The market width here is only 31 cents, so that one is within range. And we have a profit margin of about 5.55%. So let me open this one up in a new tab. Again, I want to see where all the other sportsbooks are pricing it at. And it looks like this is a good example of another outlier. OddsJam has it at minus 111. FanDuel has it at minus 110. Caesars has it at plus 106, so a little bit above the other sportsbooks, but still nothing above plus 110. So again, this DraftKings one is a real outlier. So I will add it to my selection, and this one will be about, looks like 3.6 unit bet. I'll put $90 on this one. So now, again, I'll just add it to my selection. So it was Vlad over, and this was a $90 bet, and the expected profit percent was 5.55. So again, my net expected profit for this one is about $4.95, so roughly $5. And this is going to be my second MLB player prop. So these next two we're skipping because they are above 35 cents in market width, as you can see here, 42.38. So I have two left, two batter props. Corey Seager, looks like they're both on DraftKings. Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases, and Bryson Stott under 0.5 bases. So basically, he's not going to get a hit. He can get walked. He can't get a hit. This Corey Seager one, looks like they're both in the Rangers-Phillies game, which is fun. It's plus 115 on DraftKings. The OddsJam line has it at minus 108, with the VIG removed at plus 106, which equates to a profit margin of roughly 4.25%. So again, let's look at this in a new tab. Corey Seager. And let's see. So again, pretty similar logic here. Funny enough, Caesars seems to be aligning things a little bit closer to DraftKings, but OddsJam at minus 108, FanDuel at minus 105. So still a discrepancy between all the sports books that we have odds for. So this is going to be something that I will add to my selection. And this one is going to be a $70 play, roughly 2.77%. $70 play, Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases. So Seager over. This was a $75 play, I believe. Or 70, excuse me. A $70 play. And the expected value percent here was 4.29. 4.29. So again, if I drag this down, my net expected profit here is roughly $3. So for 3 bets so far, net expected profit of about $16. And then the last one is the Bryson Stott under 0.5 runs, so plus 105, or excuse me, 0.5 total bases, plus 105 odds, minus 119 on OddsJam, minus 103 with the vig removed. 30 cents in market with, so pretty tight market there. Profit margin percent of 4.16. And then again, in the same market, we see kind of similar logic, although there are no lines for, actually this one I'm actually going to avoid. This one is not enough of a discrepancy because there's no other lines aside from the OddsJam, the book we're betting it at, which is DraftKings, and then one other book, which is Seager's, which has it closer to the OddsJam line. The other two had FanDuel, which was more aligned with the OddsJam line, and then Caesars was kind of in the middle, but still closer to the book that we're betting it at. For this one, there's no other book that has it closer to the OddsJam line, so it's not enough of a discrepancy for me. So this one I'm actually going to avoid, and these are going to be the 3 bets that I'm taking. So it's all 3 overs: Roansy Contreras over strikeouts, and then Vladimir Guerrero and Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases. So let me know if you're tailing. Hopefully this new strategy works out starting the 21st. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle that is flashed on the screen here, Modi_Matt, just my first name, or my last name _ first name, very boring. Comment on the video. Let me know you're tailing. Other than that, would appreciate if you could like and then subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But that's all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.